Hi, and welcome to another Monetize Pros video tutorial. This video is designed for owners of websites that monetize primarily through display ad networks. Here's how it's going to work. I'll be walking through several components of a successful display ad strategy, and along the way I'll be highlighting real-life examples of best practices in action. Let's begin with the most common types of monetization strategies. Though there are now a number of different opportunities, most sites still rely very heavily on traditional ad units. Here's a brief overview of some of the most common ad units out there. If this is a bit elementary to you, please stick with me. I promise I'll get a bit more advanced in just a few minutes.
The most common types of ad units include a 728 by 90 leaderboard and a 300 by 250 rectangle. Other common ad units include a 160 by 600 skyscraper, a 300 by 600 large rectangle, and a 468 by 60 half banner.
These certainly aren't the only types of ad units, but they're by far the most common. Which brings me to my first suggestion. Whenever possible, use standard sizes on your site. The reason here is simple. These are the types of ads that are created most frequently by advertisers. Using them will give you access to a deeper pool of ads, which gives the network more flexibility in optimizing for performance, click rates, and effective CPM. Let's move on to where to place these ads. I can't overstate the importance of ad positioning. Placing ads in sections of your site where visitors will see them and engage with them will result in higher clicks and greater earnings. Of course, this is easier said than done, but I'll get into a few specific examples in just a minute. First, I want to share a simple resource that will help drive home this point.
This heat map shows the sections of a web page that generally get the most attention. The orange and red areas represent where the human eye tends to focus. These are generally the best places to put ads. It's where they're most likely to be seen and clicked.
At the risk of sounding obvious, placing your ads in high visibility areas of your site will increase performance. Let's take a look at a few examples of well-placed display ads.
Here's a very common example of a 300 by 250 ad unit placed within the content of an article. The proximity to this content ensures that it will be seen by most visitors to this page. Here's another example on CNN.com. Note the two text ads align within the article content here. These ads do a particularly good job of blending in with the article, helping to overcome the banner blindness that causes many visitors to ignore ads completely. Here's an even more aggressive implementation designed at getting eyeballs on an ad. Note that as we read through an article, a 468 by 60 banner literally interrupts the content. This ensures that visitors see the messaging and increases the likelihood of a click. Here's another similar example. After the first paragraph, an ad appears within the body of the article. In this case, it's a text ad, which will generally have an even higher click rate.
Now I want to touch on one other aspect of ad positioning by highlighting a common mistake that a lot of sites make. Let's take another look at that heat map.
Note that the very top of the page is pretty light in color, meaning it's not a great place to position an ad.
This makes sense intuitively. Many websites require visitors to scroll down in order to view the desired content. This puts the very top of the page out of view, diminishing the likelihood of anyone seeing or clicking on an ad that's located there. Let me show you a few examples to highlight exactly what I mean.
This page has a leaderboard ad positioned at the very top. But visitors have to scroll down the page in order to start reading the article, meaning that many will put this top ad out of sight almost as soon as they land on the page. Here's a similar example. There's a 728 by 90 leaderboard at the top of the page, but the content isn't accessible until we scroll down and put that ad unit far out of sight.
Here's one last example from Politico.com. There's a 728 by 90 banner at the very top of the page that is pushed out of view almost immediately as visitors start scrolling. If you use AdSense, you're well aware that there is a limit on the number of ads you can have on any given page. Many websites assume that a 728 by 90 leaderboard at the very top should be included on every page. In reality, there may be much better uses for this ad. Now let's move on to our next discussion point. When working with AdSense or many other networks, you'll have some control over the types of ads that you show. Specifically, in many cases, you'll have the option to choose between showing only image-based ads or including text ads as well. Let me show you exactly what I mean.
Here's a look at GQ.com, which allows only image-based ads. These ads are clean and polished, from a high-quality advertiser, and generally convey a sense of quality around the publication. Here's a site that allows text-based ads, including both a leaderboard and rectangle above the fold. You note right away that this site doesn't look nearly as good as the previous example. There's a lot of text on the screen, and the quality just appears to be lower.
As we just saw, many text ads don't look nearly as clean or professional as high-quality image ads. But the fact is they work. All else being equal, text ads will generally get much higher click rates than image ads. So here's my advice to you. If you're using AdSense, enable text ads to appear. There's a bit of a trade-off in the appearance of your site, but you'll notice an improvement in the RPMs almost immediately. Okay, let's recap the suggestions I've thrown out so far. Number 1, use the standard ad sizes. It will improve your fill rate and help the networks do their job better. Number 2, pay attention to where you position your ads. If you're able to place them in sections of your site with high visibility, you'll see an increase in performance. And number 3, turn on those text-based ads. The appearance isn't great, but you'll similarly notice an uptick in performance when you do. I've got a few other suggestions, but I'm going to save those for part 2 of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.